Today I'm with Owen Legaarden of 2020 Angus and also one of the judges of the Stockade Roundup, and he's here today to kind of help us out with learning about what he's looking for in the ring. And so thank you so much for having us out to your farm today, Owen.
Well, thanks for coming, Thomas.
All right, Owen, so let's start with right at the beginning of a class, when those animals come in, regardless of if it's a heifer or a bull, what are the things that you are really looking for in an animal right away, and the things that you want to know right away about an animal before you start kind of comparing each animal against each other?
Okay, well, definitely I'm going to start with it's one man's opinion. So this is my opinion. Every one of us has a different one, all down the same lines. Basically, longevity and production is what we're looking for, especially in the female side. As you can see behind us, these cows need to work on not much for conditions. It's dry sometimes. So we're looking for structure. They got to stay positive through their entire life. And when I talk positive, I mean structurally. They got to walk. They got to be sound. And then we'll build from the ground up, or I do. I build from the ground up after that.
And so when you're talking about structure, you're talking about how they walk, but like some of those particulars, like what are you looking for in the feet and how the legs come down and those and other structure things that are important that some of the commoner people won't actually see as much?
Yeah, so for myself, I'll start with the actual foot itself. We need some heel to it, some depth of heel, some structure. Well, out here on we're real sandy, dry land. They got to have foot to carry on through there. And then you get into the tougher, or even where it's real lush up north, they got to have that foot structure. Then I'll move into the back legs myself. You know, we kind of talk about them being too straight or posty. They can break down sooner that way, or maybe they get a little cow-hawked and they get a little too much set to them. Again, it's a breakdown. We're looking for 10 to 15 years out of these cows they need to produce for us.
And so structure is very important, but of course these are beef cattle, so the depth of body in a cattle is very important, as well as that muscling, especially in bulls. Just talk about that and the things you're looking for in the bulls and the steers and that beef quality content.
Yeah, so again, starting with the females, after I'm done on the ground, then we start analyzing them. They got to be feminine. They got to have a little bit of, I still don't mind a bit of front end to ours. I still believe that produces your bulls down the road. It's just longevity built into them, but they got to be feminine. Then they got to have that length of body, depth of body like you talked about. We'll take some shape into their rear quarter. These females they gotta get down and calve for you, and we need as much calf out of them as we can get. So I'll study through that body, and then the young ones, it's hard to pick on udder structure, but as you get into mature cows, like you can see out here, we start to look for udder structure. And just, again, we want it to last as long as we can, as long as I believe they can.
And so we've talked mostly just about the animals themselves and what you're looking for, but one of the big things for live judging at Stockade Roundup is the fact that afterwards you have to defend your reasons. So talk to me about that and the things that you do when you're talking about each and every animal, whether they're in first place or in last place.
100%, Thomas, and that's the challenge of judging, and not everybody's willing to do it or can do it. And you can make friends and you can make enemies fast in this judging, I find. But I really believe in what I believe in, and it's just for our program what works here, and I have no problem defending what I'm saying, and they can come here and look. Am I saying our whole herd looks like the one I pick in there? No, maybe not, but would I like my herd to look like that? Absolutely, and that's why I firmly believe in what I've decided, and I like to explain it. We only have like 10 minutes of class to analyze 10 head. You're a minute each, and we need to explain. The one thing about the cattle business, we place them first right to last, and we got to explain why you're last. And it happens, and as long as, I believe, as long as you explain it and show them why, again, it's just my opinion, but I stated what I saw. You get analyzing her through that rib shape. She's got lots of length of rib, right in through that quarter, carries that right in, hooks to pins, and then she puts it all together with the depth of body in through the rib, flank, and quarter.
Legaarden alongside Chad Wilson will be judging all of the breed shows at Stockade Roundup, as well as the exciting Supreme show that will finish off the weekend. Thomas Wildman, Primetime, Local News.